This vehicle is actually a little bit new to me. I wasn't really aware of it because as you may have seen from my other videos, I'm shopping for a compact SUV, and I came across a nice sedan with a hatch style opening with a lot of power. So it really caught my attention. So now I'm potentially considering of a cool sporty sedan instead of the SUV. What I'm in right now is the 2019 Kia Stinger. If you're not familiar with this car, it's basically a sports sedan. 4 doors, but the back opens like a hatch, not like a trunk, so you got a lot extra cargo space. But from all the reviews I've seen, it's actually very fast, very comfortable, handles good. It ticks a plus in many boxes, so it's definitely worth something to consider if you're in the market for up to the 50,000 Canadian price range, and you're iffy about spending extra on those BMWs or whatever, and you want a potential alternative for a lower price ticker, but getting a really cool sports sedan, this is definitely worth putting on your list. So I'm taking it for a short drive today. I don't have it for an extended one for a big review. This is just a short test drive, and we get a feel for it. We just got into it, so I don't have all the specs yet. I'll get to that either later in this review or to an addition to this review. It's raining out, so I can't really push the handling, but since I went to a roundabout there, I did pedal down to second gear just to get some kind of a feel around that corner. Hear the engine roar, it's pretty nice, but this one does have that tuned stereo sound that comes through the speakers to give you a nice engine performance sound. That's not the actual engine. They do that here, but apparently there is an option to turn that off, so that's good that they give you that. Though it is kind of fake, it still sounds pretty cool, right? The seats have some bolstering on it. They're a bit of a wider curving to the bolstering compared to some cars, so somebody a little larger, wider body, husky folks can sit in here. The leg room is wide as well, so, and the shoulder room, hip room. I don't think this one has a thigh extender on the seat. Me being 5'6", my knee does make it past the clearance of the edge of the seat, so which is just good enough for me, and that's good for taller folks as well. So for 5'5", 5'6" and higher, your knee does make it around this edge here. Okay, there's a cop right there because the road's blocked. Should we do a launch from here? Alright, I wanted to do a launch here, but there's a cop on the right. So I can't really test the handling and stuff in this rain, but just from a little bit back and forth here, the steering response is very sporty. It's very direct, very responsive, so it is like a sports car feel. The seats are relatively on the comfort side. A little more cushioning would give it a little bit more of a luxe feel, but it's definitely a good balance and good comfort seat. This does have Bembro brakes. A little bit of an ABS there. giving a good little push around that turn, which is a little concerned about it, but this one is the all-wheel drive version, and it did grip. These tires are very good. I mean, it wasn't going very fast, but I did give it a good push around that turn, and it didn't slip. Did you feel any slip? Now the paddle shifter and gearing down. 8 to 7, 7 to 6, and 6 to 5 aren't too bad. That was a really nice turn, and these winter tires, this car took that turn pretty nicely, I gotta say. Wow, that handled really nicely around that turn. You can hear I was accelerating a little bit through it. And it gripped like a true sports sedan, maybe even a true sports car. Pretty responsive, eh? So this has a 0 to 60 time on average. What I've seen in other reviews of 4.6 seconds to do 0 to 60 miles, which is just shy of 100 kilometers an hour. I mean, that's pretty good. That's actually pretty amazing. I've seen a review where it beat a Mustang GT in a quarter mile. For $45,000 Canadian, this is definitely worth putting on your shopping list if you don't care about that Audi badge sticker on your car, etc. You just want something that's priced fair and the performance is there and you can really enjoy the ride. The camera does show a 2-stage for reversing. Right now it's a bit dirty from the rain. So it has the one main block, and it has the one that curves with you, so that's kind of nice. I like that. The camera quality is okay, the wide angle is not too bad. Does it feel smooth, bumpy? What do you think? Like for a family car, a little smoother would be nice, right? Soft.
It's a little bit smooth, but it has that a little bit stiff suspension too as well for a sport.
Yeah. It's reported to have very good 69 decibel rating for cabin noise. This model does have a heated steering wheel. It's nice and comfy right now. This thing is a little bit on the far side, as other reviews said. I mean, I could reach it. If I just lean my hand here, I can kind of go like this and reach it, so it's not that much of a stretch, but it's not as high as I thought it was from watching the other reviews. It definitely, to my eye line, I do see part of the car. From the hood to here, I do see the car. Very wide here. I'm not sure why it's more wide here. Maybe some more buttons would have been nice. But I do like that it has a lot of the options here for radio, media, and apps. And it also got the climate here. So it's nice to have a lot of hard buttons for some of the main stuff you use every day. The engine shut-off thing is also right over here by the console. That engine shut-off thing, you can do it right there. And your heated steering wheels are here. And the heated seats is here. Unlike the Subaru Outback, the new one that's got that huge screen and everything's in that screen, and then you got to take forever to just to turn off your heated seats. It takes 2-3 steps. I mean, and to turn off the engine shut-off thing, it takes 3 buttons to press to turn off the engine shut-off thing. So a car having some techie stuff up here in the big screen and having some of the everyday stuff that you really do use and the real hard buttons, to me is a thumbs up. So for my short drive here, this drives just like a sports car, in my opinion. Does it drive like a Lamborghini? No. Does it definitely compete with all the cars that it competes with, not only in its price range, but does it compete with cars that are even $20,000 more? I say absolutely yes. It has the handling, it has the acceleration, it has a quiet cabin like a luxury vehicle usually does. It's got the power, it's got a lot of luxury feelings. The design looks like those upper level cars. It's got comfortable leather seating. It's got all-wheel drive. If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, maybe it's a duck. So I don't think, for those, yeah, some people are like, oh, it's not an Audi, oh, but it's not a Beamer. Okay, well, if you really care about having that badge, or you think you don't look cool because you don't have that badge, that's up to you. But for those of you who don't care, you just want a cool car that's reasonably well made and it's got all the features and it's a lot less money and you can enjoy the ride and you're loving it. But for bang for the buck, this is an awesome choice to consider. I'm giving it some serious consideration now. I just wonder whether wifey is going to mind if I to get a sedan instead of an SUV, because she really was hoping for me to get an SUV. And she wants to take it a lot. She likes when she drives higher up. But of course, my wife can drive as much as she wants. I mean, it would be my daily driver. Ken, what do you think? Do you think
It's a thumbs
this
up.
one being thumbs up?
It's a thumbs
Yeah,
up.
you think you would consider it for your future car instead of the STI that you're considering?
Well,
I think it's faster than the STI.
It might be.
It's got more room if you do have kids.
Yeah.
There's no soft padding here for your knee to rest in, but this is... Double check the turbo lag again. If I press it right on, and so I've heard some people say, yeah, there's some turbo lag on it, blah blah blah. Well, every single car has turbo lag, at least some. And even naturally aspirated engines, when you press the gas, they go right away. But whenever you put even a naturally aspirated engine right down full throttle, they also have a slight delay for the gear to change and everything. So, and one, so that's pretty. You feel much turbo lag there? Maybe just a gear down like a regular engine would, right? So. I'll give it a little extra there. It didn't lose grip around that corner. I didn't go full throttle, but I gave it a little extra. Overall, I don't know, I like it. It's very fun to drive. Very upscale look. Definitely looks like a luxury sports sedan. Okay, want to look around a bit? All right.
With the Stinger, it was, the way we developed it, it was quite a long journey. And so when I see the car now, I always think back about the concept car, the GT.
I spent most of my time drawing already as a child. I tried always to draw very sporty, very dynamic, very original cars. Of course, we've never had such a car, a very sporty car that drives the way just as good as it looks.
When you look at the car, you can tell the passion that our designers have, that they had when they did it.
The spirited drive for enthusiasts, but it's also about the journey, the long trip. So you do have to find the right balance between providing this serious cockpit for the driver, yet it's all about style and comfort.
And I mean, if you look at it from like a 3/4 rear, and you can see how much tension the roof line has, and how how it sits on the street, the stance of the car, the wheels are pushed to the corner, the height of the front fender, the length of the hood, how the greenhouse sits on the body, the proportion is fantastic.
A Gran Turismo, there is no excuse. The proportions have to be perfect. And what was so special working on this project is that we worked hand in hand with the engineers, and we got such a fantastic technical package, technical layout that enabled us as designers to do just the beautiful car that Stinger has become.
When I joined Kia, I said, okay, these cars, they need to drive as good as they look. We have excellent components in the car, we have excellent engineers, but to balance all these excellent single pieces, that takes a lot of time. For the Kia brand, the Stinger is an explosion, because nobody expects such a car. Not just the way it looks, but also the way it drives, it's a whole different animal. This is one important step in a journey that started several years ago.
Okay, so to sum up, my time with this vehicle, I've been very impressed with it. As you know, I've been shopping for an SUV, and I came across this, so I'm like, all right, let me go check it out. It'd be a cool car for reviewing as well, but let me check it out for myself. Since it has the Sportback hatchback opening with more cargo space than most sedans have, or pretty much all sedans would have, still not as much cargo space as an SUV, or my minimum requirement that I had when I was shopping for an SUV. It caught my attention because it's got some extra cargo space. It's all-wheel drive, which is good for winter, and all the reviews and its performance is just so pretty awesome, especially for the price point. So I did put it on my list to come check it out, just in case I wanted to switch my category and then won me over and I didn't buy an SUV. So, and even the Motor Trend guy who does that lap testing for them was really impressed for him. If you have an account to see Motor Trend reviews, go to the Stinger and find what he says about it. He's really impressed. Even though it's not designed to be a track car, it really did well on a track. I'll touch briefly if I think this really competes with those German brands. A lot of reviewers, most reviewers are saying that it competes with them, and they gotta start looking over their shoulders. I agree. There are a few that say, oh no, it's not quite there yet. One guy from, I forgot which review it was, from the from England somewhere, or UK somewhere. The one that was also shaking the center console, which mine does not move. My center console does not move, and I'm trying to push it really hard. I don't have the camera on it, but I assure you, it doesn't move. He had said that it's not quite a sports sedan yet. Quite honest, I think he's being a bad snob, because if he had said it's not $100,000 luxury sports sedan, I would pat him on the back and say, yeah, I agree with you. The fact that he just said it's simply not a sports sedan, maybe with a slip of the tongue and didn't mean that way, but he did say it's not a sports sedan. Well, that's just stupid. Of course, it's a sports sedan. You don't perform like this. You don't do well on a track like Motor Trend video shows and Car and Driver says about it. You don't perform like this car and not be a sports sedan. So anybody who thinks it's not a sports sedan, get out of your head. I don't want me to be disrespectful to anybody watching this, but it's a sports sedan. Absolutely, and it's probably one of the better ones out there, and maybe the best one for the price point. If I want $100,000 and I want to dedicate it to a car tomorrow, would I buy this for 50 grand, or would I buy the BMW? Well, if someone said you have to use all that $100,000 for a car, otherwise you can't have it, I would definitely, instead of buying two of these, I would buy that BMW or that Audi for that price range, because they're fantastic cars. I'm not knocking those German brands, but if you definitely want to spend up to 70 maximum, I definitely put this head to head with any of those vehicles and go check it out. Don't trust me if you don't believe me. Go check reviews. Go check all the other reviews. Do all the research you want. But if you don't 100% care about the badge on your car, you just want a cool car for a decent price, go check it out. go test drive for yourself. I promise you, you'll be impressed. Even if you decide not to buy it because you just like that extra refinement or something about the German brands. Hey, all the power to you. They're great cars too, and I wouldn't be sad if I owned one of those. But be open-minded and go check it out for yourself. You'll be quite impressed. Even if you don't buy it, you'll still be impressed with it, I would think. One thing I did quickly check out is I just did a comparison. If I wanted to buy a BMW 640i Grand Tour, what it would cost. And of course with financing, because, who's got $80,000 in their bank, right? Some people do, but I don't. So I did the math, and because this car had 0% financing and BMW's is like 4%, 4.5% or something like that, over a 7-year span loan, which is the maximum both allow, this one at 0%, that one at 4 and change, the BMW worked out to $14,000 in just loan amount, pure interest. So the payment was about $450 more range. So now, those vehicles, those Audis, those BMWs, their refinement isn't just in some of the ways it's engineered and some of the luxury touches. Their engines are refined to the point where they're noticeably more fuel efficient than this Kia Stinger 3.3 liter is, with similar power, maybe even more powerful than this one. But personally, I can live with that $30, $40 per month more fuel costs in this vehicle and save $420 in the monthly payment. Again, I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I just wanted to give, again, it's a comparison for price points, right? And is this as nice as a 640? Again, for overall refinement, no. A good alternative if you don't mind that, you'd like the idea of saving some money and having a pretty cool car, and you're not worried about someone looking at you funny that, oh, that's a Kia? Oh, you own a Kia? What's wrong with you? If you're not worried about that kind of stuff, again, go check it out. I have no regards. Other people around me could think I'm awkward or funny, but when I pull up and there's an Audi or BMW for me, I actually, again, I'm not a badge carrying person, but nonetheless, I still feel proud that I'm next to them in this Kia Stinger, because I've done the research and I know what went into this and how well it's been built and what a overall great car it is. So what is my final decision? Am I going to go with the Stinger, or am I going to go back to shopping for my SUV, which my top 3 choices were the 2019 Subaru Outback, Mazda CX-5, and the Chevy Equinox, all of course in the top trim, which I was leaning to it finally being my first choice as the Outback, the 19 Outback, not the 20, because I hate that new big screen and engine shut-off thing just 3 steps away. The big screen's probably going to have issues, and then who's going to pay to fix it after warranty is gone? It was fun to drive. The 2020 Subaru, I got to say, was really fast, comfortable, decent handling for that type of vehicle. It was just, honestly, I love it, except for those things I mentioned that I don't like, and watch that review if you want to get into more detail. So I actually took the 2020 Subaru Outback off my list because I have a couple of dumb features that they went with. I'm that picky. So I was going to be a 2019. I almost actually put an offer on one before I stumbled across this one. I'm like, let me go check out this cool car, right? So to sum up on regarding my car shopping, ta-da! The Kia Stinger that I'm sitting in right now is actually mine. 2019 GT Limited. It is this one that I bought that I was, a couple of my clips in the review are in it, where I'm taking that nice sharp off-ramp turn with the Nexen winter tires I put on it. So it won me over. I ended up buying one. I love it. No regrets so far. I switched categories from SUV to a sports sedan. I like to venture off-road once in a blue moon, so I can't do that with this. Maybe when it's a little older, I'll put a 6-inch lift on it and take it off-roading. Who knows? I'm crazy like that. But anyway, I loved it enough that I bought it, and no regrets. Anyway, Stavros from RPM Auto Reviews in my Kia Stinger. Check it out. Like it, subscribe. Please comment below if you want to bash me for my comments regarding it's competing with German brands. By all means, that's what the YouTube channel is for. Let's chat. Any questions, post them below. I'm happy to reply as much as I can. And look forward to more reviews I have coming up. All right. Take care.